hello there. We're
Hello.
back in the more traditional style, which is we are not live streaming now, but you're watching a recording. I know we've been doing a lot of live streaming lately. That's because we're all tired and it's easier to do it. but today is a very special day because we have some very amazing guests with us, and they are here to talk about a fantastic new TV show called We Were Tomorrow. That's already on Amazon Prime or coming to Amazon Prime. I wasn't
It
sure.
it's out on Amazon for purchase and rent in the US and Canada, but it will be out in places like Australia in November.
Okay,
Cool.
gotcha. So it's gonna be out soon everywhere because I checked. I'm in Hungary. I checked. I don't have it yet, but I'm looking
Soon,
forward to it.
soon.
I know. So November, guys. And it is a fantastic premise because I'm a sci-fi and fantasy lover, and it's both. So that's already a win for me, and I'm already very excited. And it's completely independent. So we're going to talk about that today with none other than Madeleine Kennedy, who is the creator and writer of this fantastic show. And then we also have Alicia Bennett and Lara Jean Marshall with us. Yay! Welcome.
Yay! Thank you so much for having us.
It's so much fun always. We love talking about new things and we love to get to know new people. That's always fun. So let's just get into it. But before that, Katie, would you like to introduce our lovely little podcast,
Let
please?
me do a quick little introduction,
Yes.
guys. Welcome, everybody, to All the Films We Judged Before. I'm Katie, that's Lily Kay, and as mentioned, we have Madeleine, Laura Jean, and Alicia with us today.
Yay!
Yay!
Welcome.
Yay!
Always so much fun. All right, let's get into it. We already talked a little bit before we started recording. So I would like to hear a bit more about how this all came together, how the idea came. That's the first question, because the premise, I will quickly read it. It tells the story of Evelyn and Noah, who must navigate through 3 lifetimes to honor, I can't read my own handwriting, don't worry about it, to honor the truth about their destiny with Varric and Sienna, but their efforts to flee the dying world become complicated when Cain, an immortal, decides to hunt them down. I do have a question, because we saw the cast list, and one of our friends, Desmond GM, is also in this. Who is he playing? Is he the bad guy?
Obviously, we're not going to confirm or deny anything. However, Desmond is an incredible artist who plays Kiao. He's one of our main alchemists in the story, so he's a magic man.
Ooh, excellent.
Ooh, I like
Yeah.
that. Okay,
Love
Magic
magic.
Man. Okay, so how it was created, how it came to be. Please tell us, Madeleine.
Yeah. So We Were Tomorrow really started out as an idea where I wanted to try and kind of take this idea of concepts where we're dealing with different time periods and transitioning through that, but making it so much more about this idea of soulmates and what that means in terms of it's the people you love, but like where does that line like extend to, and like how far, and like is it just lovers or is it platonic, and what if you had multiple lifetimes, could you find that person again? And like it just kind of started to like snowball in this beautiful evolution of just what if. And I think that I really wanted to see if I could play with that idea, and given that it was such a fantastical and sci-fi fantasy like genre, I went and kind of took the normal mainstream ways of doing things, and a lot of people were like, you can't pull this off, you're too you're independent, you don't have the credentials to pull this off, you're just a dreamer, and we can't confirm that you get money back. And so I hit so many like roadblocks of people just thinking that it was impossible because it was so much bigger than just the normal kind of structured ideas. And I think then I was like, I didn't want to just give up. And so it became this idea of, well, can I pull this off myself? Can I make this myself? And so I went down this route of doing it independently and just brought together this incredible group of people in front and behind the screen who just are so passionate about storytelling and about seeing these ideas and really challenging, innovative ways of filmmaking. So not just like, obviously when you have bigger budgets, you have the flexibility of making choices that are just allow you to be grandiose, you know what I mean? But when you're independent, you're like, okay, how do we be smarter? How do we think of more interesting interesting ways to achieve this without it being so expensive. And I think that in part it was because of the beautiful people who just gave so passionately with their hearts, their artistry. But I think also it was us kind of putting our heads together and going, all right, what can we do to be clever? And we really did test boundaries in more innovative ways of doing things. And it shows, it allows us to have the sets that we do, like a lot of our locations rely on practical effects. And I think that that's also a very beautiful but maybe dying art form that really needs to
Little bit,
stay.
yeah.
Like I think obviously green screen and CGI is really a beautiful art form and important as well. I think the merging of both is just great. But I love the idea that you can see our sets, you can feel it through the screen because you can tell our actors are physically in those sets. And that just came from, instead of having a multi-million-dollar set built for us, we went and utilized, for example, an evacuation emergency testing site that trains our first responders and our paramedics and our beautiful like 000 operators. But we used that to show a dystopian setting. And that was obviously a scene that both Lara and Alicia were in, this petrol station. They completely have it set up with like demolished cars and exploded buildings and rubble. And we just found smart ways to do it and then it just became this world that these two then are on screen in front of, and you're like, I believe it, they're there.
Yeah. Oh, I that's amazing. I always love
Yeah.
practical effects. So like it's always nice to hear when people using that instead of like, let's go in front of a green screen and let's do it that way. Like, it's just you're there. And it shows, I
Yeah.
think, like as much as CGI has evolved, sometimes you can see that it's CGI. So it's like, practical is always the way for me. And I'm glad to see that a lot of productions are now realizing that maybe we should try to do that more. So it's not, and I mean, you're in Australia, so like you have all the beautiful scenery that you can use.
Yeah, we are incredibly blessed. And I think that it also stands as kind of like a love letter, as I said before, to our beautiful home country and the beautiful artists that are there.
Oh yeah,
We
100%.
did obviously film other parts and use other kind of like B-rolls and stuff from other countries to really diversify
Mm-hmm.
the landscapes of the world as well. But I am very proud to obviously that we got to showcase our home.
Oh, I love that.
Absolutely.
That's lovely. Katie?
Yeah, I was just thinking about how uh when it comes to trying to do something independently, I think it requires that like extra level of like you said, trying to think of really interesting ways. And I think that often breeds more interesting like creative choices because of it, because you have only so much that you can like play with. It seems like this has been something that you've been working on for a really long time now. I've found lots of little different variations of it over the years. So how I guess has it evolved in like massively throughout that time, or is it kind of the core of this sort of is it sort of the same as it has been since you kind of generated the idea?
I think it's a bit of both.
Okay.
I think it's a patchwork of beautiful moments throughout time being pulled together to really meet a demand for a TV format.
Mm,
Because originally we were going along the lines of exploring it as a feature film,
mm,
and then it was so became clear that this world and these characters had so much more to give and so much more complexity that they deserved, that we then obviously were like, well, let's expand. And so the expansion to meet the market demand of like a TV show meant just more time. And then obviously everybody experienced the impacts of the COVID shutdowns. And obviously that was a really challenging time for everybody, both personally and professionally. And so I think that those years obviously really showed kind of like this, they required a tenacity, like an endurance, but also quite a collaborative, creative effort from all of these artists that, from across the world. And so I think that, yes, it evolved as it expanded and became this tapestry of this beautiful body of work of all these people. But it also still stayed true to the storyline being at its core, this narrative of these people trying really desperately hard to do the right thing in a very adverse setting in a changing world with these incredible other characters, both that are in the support of their plight, but also those that have ulterior motives.
Yeah, absolutely. If I could pivot over to our other two guests that are with us today,
Yes.
just wondering what brought the two of you onto the project. What kind of drew you to this story? Whoever wants to go first.
You go first, Leisha.
Yeah, so I was sent, bless you, my goodness,
Yes.
sorry.
Bless you.
I was sent the script, and I remember reading it. Oh, here we go. And I remember reading it. I've always been a really big fan of sci-fi, and also of love stories, and relationships, obviously, you know. But I remember reading it and just absolutely falling in love with it, and the intricacies and all of just the little nuanced things where you're like, oh, that connects with that, and oh, that connects with that. So that really drew me in, and I remember, yeah, like in its first form, of the feature film, and meeting Maddie, and coming together as a group. And I was a big fan of Saddle Club when I was a little girl.
Yes.
Also, like, just the people that came together, the cast that we ended up getting was so exciting. And yeah, I was really excited to be a part of this really cool sci-fi project, and how it's evolved over the time. It's been so cool, and I'm really grateful for all the people that I've met and the experiences that I've had. And I've always said it along this whole process, but Madeleine is a genius of what she's created. It's been so cool to see how it's progressed over the time, and yeah, and we're all really proud of it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and for me, I guess it would be the fact of, I've always loved sci-fi, and, I've always played the good girl all the time in every TV show. I've always played the good girl, and I've gone like, where's my badass role? Like, when do I get to like do some badass stuff? And so, when the script came along and I did the audition and everything, it wasn't even like, I just felt like something sat with me. I felt a connection to Georgia May, and I was just like so excited about this role, and I was just like crossing everything, going, I hope I get it. And I did get it. And then I was so excited because also I was a Dance Academy fan. Alicia is on a TV show, and I was a huge fan of her, and everyone else in the production was in something that I was like, whoa, I'm going to be working with this person. But also I just got that, Georgia May is kind of like this kind of sheltered woman, and she has a lot of strength in her, but I think she's been so sheltered in her life, and so rules, things are set for her in life. And, then she just basically has to become a survivor. And it doesn't mean that she's, a bad person or anything, but she survives, and you have to be strong. You have to be a badass to survive, to live. So I love that the journey that Georgia May has in the show. I love working with the other talented actors. Like, sometimes I'll be in a moment and I actually have to be like, oh my gosh, I'm like almost shocked in the scene, because there's just such good acting, and you feel so connected to that person in the scene, that you're just like, wow, I am just so in awe of working with these kind of talented actors. But also, they're not just great actors. Like, you go home with them after, and you're eating tacos and you're singing songs.
Yeah.
It's a great bunch of people, and, I remember one moment when we were just looking around at all these cameras, and, we were doing this really crazy scene in pitch black at night. And I just turned to Maddie, I said, oh my gosh, look what you've created. Like, this is phenomenal. And we're all here because of you. So, it's just, you can't replace those memories. Those memories are ours, and I love them. And yeah, I'm excited myself for it to come out and for everyone to see it.
Oh, that's awesome.
These ladies are like completely like downplaying how incredible they are, but I just wanted to see onto that. Lara makes it sound like she had this like a challenge to audition. I was like, no, like we obviously we wanted her so badly. And I remember I'd actually met Lara earlier in 2014 because we did an Ivana Chubbuck workshop together.
That's
And
right.
yes, and I remember seeing her, and I'd loved Subtle Club, and I was just like, this girl has so much complexity and power in her. She's got an amazing tool. And I just wanted to see, like, because I'd heard you speaking about how much you wanted to just break out of these restricted archetypes you'd played. And so when Georgia May was kind of at the table, we were like, we need to ask. We needed you to come and play. And I'm so glad that you did. And you made her so memorable and so powerful, and people are going to love her. And the same with Alicia. Alicia came in and auditioned on her birthday.
Oh,
yes. And when I mean, and I need to be clear and say, when I mean she came in, she flew interstate on her birthday and turned up and gave one of the best performances I've probably ever seen. And I think that she often is also completely underestimated because she is a powerhouse of a woman. And I hope and believe that We Were Tomorrow encapsulates moments that just give you glimpses of the power of these women.
that is so awesome to hear. You know, we have so many. We interviewed a lot of men, and we even talked with Katie like, when will the women come in? Like I tried because
we're here,
and you were right, and I'm like, this is just so lovely to listen to. I will have to say that already you won me over with the two name Georgia May. I love names like that. I'm like, I already love you. Like, that's great. But let's talk about Alicia and Madeleine. You're also in it. Your characters as well a little bit, just to, you know, as much as you can tell, obviously. But let's hear about them a little bit. So Alicia, what can you tell about your character?
I don't want to give too much away, but I think what I will really touch on is how Maddie was talking about before, you know, soulmates. And one of the things that I really loved about this script and the characters were that it focused on not only romantic relationships, but the platonic relationships. And Maddie and I had a lot of conversations that, you know, once even her and I met, we were like, it feels like we've known each other before. And it worked in really well for our characters. And I think, you know, Sienna and Evelyn are almost like these polar opposites, but it's yin and yang. And what I found and what I really felt with this story was that it follows them as well as the romantic relationships. And yeah, I think Evelyn is a really strong, beautiful character, and Sienna is kind of, and as I kind of said before, you know, the nuances, the little bits and pieces that Maddie put in, it was like we had, you know, the elements of each character kind of represents a different element of earth, fire, wind, and water, and again, I don't want to give too much away. There's so much to go with it, and I think Sienna is, you know, kind of a little bit of a glue character, and you know, she's best friends with Evelyn, and she is in a romantic relationship with Evelyn's brother, and she's a glue. She wants to find Evelyn. She wants to find her love, and I think that's all I'll say. She's really special. I'm excited to see her.
Okay, that's exciting.
She's very, very important. They're all very important, and I think that Sienna really does give something that, as even Georgia May we've talked about in the past too, they have arcs that are really interesting to watch, and they're so transformative through the episodes. And really, that was the most important thing, was every character needed to be there for a purpose and exist for themselves and be authentic, both male and female. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wanted everyone to have strength and flaws, so they felt that they were just there purposefully as a person rather than anything else. And so, yeah, I think that everyone's going to really enjoy seeing both those characters, especially. I feel like Evelyn, who I play, to Sienna and Georgia May, and I've said this often, it's like almost this kind of like gravitational feminine energy triangle where we're each a different point, and we show these very strong kinds of women, but they're all different kinds of women. And I think that's so important to see. And they're all flawed in their own ways, because that is also really important to see, because we want to see that growth and that evolution. And also our male characters are incredibly strong and very powerful and also very flawed. And it's also really nice to see their evolution as characters, especially Noah and Jacob, Noah being played by Chai Hansen and Jacob played by Jason Wilder. There's a very interesting magic that goes on between those two characters that I think audiences are going to hopefully really enjoy as well, because that's another different layer. But for me, playing Evelyn, like, she's spirited, yet she's grounded, and she has this deep connection with the natural world. And I think that she's got a very resourceful mind, but like, it's her determination that also kind of gets a little bit into the land of like recklessness, which kind of makes she's becomes quite complex in terms of like, as each episode grows. And that was the big thing I wanted to see across all those characters, is each episode the world grows a little bit and a little bit more, and the characters grow a little bit more, and you start to realize, oh, okay, so hang on, who am I rooting for? Like, and you start to change perspectives, but it's also like you get absorbed and invested in. And I think Evelyn has these like such strong connections with the other characters, and she's so headstrong and stubborn, but she's also, I think, the kind of courage that I would love women to be inspired by, because even though she's a little reckless, it's still like her intentions and her heart is so beautiful. And I think that we need more adventurous courageousness in our women and more bravery, because women are beautiful.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Before I give the word to Katie, I just want to say, if Katie moves a little bit, that hair.
I was just thinking, I was like, not only all of these things, but she's also got really cool hair.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
We always end up talking about hair at one point or another in the podcast, so I just had to bring it up that hair is gorgeous. Like, I'm envying a little bit.
It was the incredible work of amazing color artist and Knack Hair, and it took hours at a salon in Brisbane, and I think it was so important to give that kind of distinguishment between our first, second, and third lifetime, and it really was something fun to lean into. And obviously that's my real hair, whereas obviously other lifetimes is wigs. So I was like, let's go hard, let's go and be creative, and let's go.
I love that.
Love that.
Katie, there you go.
I'm just wondering, Lily, if you've got any more questions about the show in particular, because I think I'd like to start transitioning into talking about, you know, some of the other stuff that we like to talk about on the show with, you know, what you guys are watching yourselves, and if you're watching anything in particular. So I just want to double check before I close the book on this, which sounds brilliant, by the way. You have sold me very much so. Just double checking. Are you good?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you keep going then, because I've got all my questions that I've got left are about other things. So.
Then I will keep going, because I am very much thinking about the question, and if you can even tell me, like, it is what we were sent is that this is a 6-episode series. Are you planning on doing more with it?
I am going to be very honest and say, yes, that has always been my dream. Getting these 6 out obviously was a big challenge, but now that it's out, it's like, I almost want to see if the fans love it, and if there's a want for it. We obviously would love to come back, because I've written 10 episodic season breakdowns. So ladies and gentlemen, there is all the content in the world there, and it gets so big and it gets so wild and wonderful. So it's there if people want to see it.
Oh, okay. Beautiful. That's exciting then. Something to look forward to, definitely. And before we pivot to Katie's question, I would like to say that I am known as the Sean Bean of extras. So if you need someone to die in your show, please.
Oh my goodness. You can come visit Australia.
I know. I would be so excited to go. And I'm excellent at dying. Like, at this point, I think I'm immortal, because I died so many times in movies and TV shows. So I'm like...
Look, it is a prerequisite to be on this show.
I see.
Done. Then I'm happy to come.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
And I'd be happy to take you out too in it, you know. So.
Please. Okay, dream come true. Already on my list. I'm coming over. All right, Katie, you can pivot.
All right, I'm gonna pivot ever so slightly. So, on our lovely little show, we tend to talk about what sort of TV shows we like and the sort of things that we are drawn to and all this sort of stuff. So I think the sort of big first overall question: are you guys avid TV watchers or cinephiles? Do you guys, what are you watching? What's good with you guys?
I mean, I'm a huge movie and TV show buff. I mean, Shawshank Redemption is my favorite movie.
I love you.
I mean,
I love you.
It's everything. It's everything.
It is.
Oh,
have you got it there?
She's pulling.
It should be.
Oh my gosh, I die so many times during that film. I love it so much.
I don't know where it is, but I have the script.
Yeah.
Like I proper have the script
Wow.
somewhere here.
Wow.
It's my favorite movie. So
I actually have the framed poster of it with Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman, who had signed it. Yeah, my mum got it for me at a charity auction thing. So, yeah, I love it. I love it.
One of the first things that...
Also, other TV shows I'm watching, I like obviously Schitt's Creek is my favorite. I love Nobody Wants This. It's a new one.
I just watched that. Yeah.
I really thought it was cute and
it
light.
was very sweet. Yeah.
It was one of those ones where it's so easy to just not think and just be in it. And it was just lovely. And also I love From, like anything thriller. Like, I love From. I love all the dark movies. So that's my kind of genre. I love either really, really light or really, really dark.
I love that.
I will tell you the truth now. I think this podcast is just me finding my new best friends at this point.
Yes.
You literally listed everything that I love. Like From is the love of my life. Like I wrote an article on why people should watch it. And then Shawshank is my baby. So like we're besties now, just so you know.
One of the first things,
another bestie.
One of the first things that Lily and I think discussed when we started getting to know each other was I feel like one of the first things I knew about you was your love of Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah,
like very early on. So, but
yeah.
Also very much I was the one who got her into Schitt's Creek. So that I should have won. I've got a Rose Apothecary jumper, which is so comfortable. Spent so much money on it, but it's one of my favorite jumpers. It's just
there you go.
Oh my god, I love it.
On it. How about either of you guys?
Alicia,
do you want to go?
Yeah, I I love all of the things. I watch all of the genres. Some of my favorite movies in the world are Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, and When Nature Calls.
Yes.
What I've been rewatching lately, actually not rewatching, but I found out, and I don't know how I didn't know this for so long, but there is extended versions of Lord of the Rings. Yes. I've been a huge fan of Lord of the Rings my entire life. I've done the books, I've done the movies, and I have just recently purchased the extended versions. So I just finished watching the first one, and I'm going to start on the second one. It takes a long time having my toddler. I don't have much time now to watch this in their entirety all at once. So I've been working my way through. So I've been watching that, and then what else? I watched the Nobody Wants This, actually, which was, again, like Lara said, it is such a good one to put on and just like switch your brain off. A bit of, light rom-com. I love it.
Love Adam Brody.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, that's pretty much that's me at the moment. That's
It's good. Good selection.
No, I was just saying, I love that you have that mad respect for Lord of the Rings, and I feel like if you love Lord of the Rings, you also can really love Harry Potter. I am such an obsessed fan with Harry Potter. Obviously, I can't get past it. It's always that routine watch. But I think recently I watched Supercell, and that was so incredible. Yeah, I really recommend it. It was clever and it was really well shot, and the performances were incredible. Really they were impressive. Yeah. You invested, and it was like had that binge effect that you really wanted to power through it. And then I got to the end, I was like, oh no, what am I doing now with my life?
Yeah, exactly.
So I ended up, I rewatched Misfits. I love the UK show Misfits.
Love Misfits.
Nathan.
Nathan is
my
the best.
boy.
Nathan is the best.
Yeah, my boy, my son. No, okay, yeah. So I love
Not
him,
sweet at all, but he's sweet to me.
Yeah. And Netflix's Death Note. I've been rewatching Death Note as well.
Yes.
The anime.
Yes, as you
Yeah.
should, because it's great.
Yes. It stands the test of time. I think it was 2006, and you can still rewatch it, and it's brilliant.
Yeah. Agreed, 100%. We
a
met
wonderful
with,
collection of stuff.
yeah, exactly. We met with Robert Sheehan, who plays Nathan in Misfits.
At a
And
Oh my
I literally, I couldn't go to, I did the photo op with him, but I couldn't go to the autograph session. And I told Katie, like, please take my photo and tell him to write something from Misfits. And he wrote my favorite thing. It's literally, to really love Robert Sheehan, melon fucker, and he drew a little melon, and it has a black spot in the middle.
Honestly, it just looks like a little olive, but it's very funny.
Oh my goodness, that is so incredible. Oh my gosh, that's so good.
He's the best. And also, just so you know, we are also besties because I have the Lord of the Rings tattoo here.
Stop it. I wanted to get so badly. I wanted to get the Elvish writing and have my own, like I was gonna have like family is forever or something like around my wrist, and then I didn't end up getting it, and then I fell pregnant and all the things. So, but I would have had Elvish writing around my wrist if COVID didn't happen and I didn't fall pregnant.
Understandable.
Have you been watching the Rings of Power series, which I've heard got extremely good in that second season? From what I have heard.
I haven't watched it because I started watching the first episode and I don't know, something was just not hitting it for me. I think I need to push through. I'm going to try and push through because as I've also heard that it gets really good, but I've also heard that they're doing a new Lord of the Rings movie with all the same people, which has mind blown.
Yes.
And I'm like, awesome. I need to be in it. I need to audition for this. I have to be
100%.
Yes.
So, like, look, I mean, I can do.
You're very elvish.
You are very elvish. Exactly. You gotta do it. Look, like it's my favorite person. Andy Serkis doing it. It's the Hunt for Gollum, and maybe Ian McKellen is coming back as Gandalf. So I'm like, give it to me now.
Oh my
goodness. Give it to me now.
Yes.
Apparently,
we're all going to move to New Zealand.
Yes. Oh yeah. Honey, I always said that at one point in my life, I'm just going to live in a hobbit hole in New Zealand, and that's it. Like, I'm just going to go to Hobbiton and just move into one of the houses, even if it's not allowed. I'm just going to barricade myself in. This is my home now, and that's it.
I'll be there. I'll be right there with you.
Okay, good. Then it's all settled then. All right, that's Katie's favorite question. My favorite question, which we already got the best answer from, but from Lara Jean, it's Shawshank Redemption. But I want to hear the both of you tell me what is not your favorite movie, but what is your comfort movie that you can just take out and watch over and over again and never get tired of it, and it actually brings you comfort to watch it. That's my favorite question because it's so different from what is your favorite. I think not always, but a lot of times it's like not the same. So
can we give you like a tie? Can we give you two?
Yes.
Yes. Please give as many as you like.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the first thing that came to my mind was Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understandable.
It's just a comfort. And I think the other one would be Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet.
Oh,
and
I love that.
Yeah, and I know that might sound weird because everyone's like, whoa, what? But I'm like, it was the movie that made me fall in love with filmmaking. And so I think that's where it brings me back to.
That's completely understandable. I get that.
They're good. I have a lot and I cannot pick. I can't even give you two.
Go ahead.
Okay, here we go. So, any cartoon, give me Lion King, give me Little Mermaid. Like, I can watch them as an adult and still be so enthralled and obsessed. Same Harry Potters, give me all of the Harry Potters. I will sit down and I will watch them happily any day of the week. And then, as I said before, Also, Ace Ventura, more so the When Nature Calls.
Yeah.
I can watch that. I know every single word and I will laugh. And now this is one of my favorite ones. My daughter is obsessed with Shrek.
She's got taste.
Yes.
Yes. This is one of the movies that I can quote word for word all the way through. And so I literally every day it's on and I will sit there happily with her and watch Shrek. One. And then the first one is obviously the best one, but
Yes.
2, 3, and 4. And apparently there's
The
another one of
sequel?
those.
Yeah.
I'm a big
Shrek
Shrek 2 fan. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Take me to far, far away.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Also, just great soundtracks across
Yes.
the board, but like
Yes.
I think especially in Shrek 2, to be fair.
Fairy
100%.
Godmother, I Need a Hero. Chef's
Oh.
kiss.
Oh yeah, that's great.
That's still one
Good
of the
stuff.
best scenes out of any animated
good.
movie. It's like
Yes.
just perfection.
I
Laura Jean,
know.
do you have something different from Shawshank
Oh,
Redemption?
look, I mean, Love Actually. I mean,
Oh.
that's
yeah.
everything to me. Anything with Colin Firth in it. I'm
Yes.
a big Colin Firth fan. So Love Actually, like everything about that movie is comfort to me and love. And my dad cries through it every time when we watch it together and we hold hands watching it. And so it's
Oh.
special. It's his favorite movie. And also Colin Firth in Pride and Prejudice, like Pride and Prejudice, the
Oh.
BBC version is incredible. When he gets out of that lake and his white shirt goes see-through and she comes around the corner and they catch eyes, it's everything. And I've watched that a million times. So
I went on a little holiday thing with a couple of friends of mine a couple of years ago now. We went up to the north of Wales and we just sort of rented out a little house and we went on little walks. It was all lovely. But we watched Colin Firth Pride and Prejudice on one of the evenings that we were there, and because I'd only seen the movie, I hadn't seen the series, and one of my best friends had it on DVD, so we watched the the entire thing. And he really is, he gets Darcy's awkwardness, which I think is one of those things that needs to be like done exactly right, because he's like that. He's that perfect level of like kind of like almost like a little bit autistic in the best way possible. Where I'm like, I understand you.
Yes, he's very awkward but pompous, but loving, and it's just like all jumbled up. And I love that. You know, that they two measured at each other out at the end, and oh, it's
Can
fabulous.
I say something so sweet, Lara? Is that when you were saying that, it actually is really, it's actually serendipitous, because that movie was so foundational as like obviously growing up. I'm sure like our mothers watched them, like my mother watched that movie. And honestly, it's actually like not a joke. When I wrote the character of Warwick, who's actually the love interest of Evelyn, he has those moments and those kind of like qualities that Mr. Darcy had, because I wanted somebody who had that kind of steadfast loyalty, but he's kind of like, he's valiant and but stoic, but also he's a little bit like also, you know, like a little bit awkward at times, and he's trying to be a good man, and it's that confliction between that. And and so when you were saying that, I was like, oh my goodness. And obviously Johnny Brady, who plays Warwick, really brings that like power, but like that control to it as well. So if you like that, you like this.
There you go.
Perfect.
There you go. I love that. I love that so much. And because I'm checking the time, just so you know, you can. I don't want to let you go. It's so fun to talk to you. But before we do that, I must ask, like, what else can we see you in? Obviously, what can you tell us about? Like, what are the plans for the future other than season 2 of We Were Tomorrow? That's very important. Like, we need that in our life, I think. So what is in cards for the future, or is there something that you really want to do? And Madeleine, let's start with you.
So I am incredibly happy and proud to be partnered with Comic Con Radio. They're in America, and they are an incredibly amazing support for the comic world as well as film and television. And they were actually supporters of us way back in the beginning. And we went to, we actually launched during Comic Con with them. And so I'm really excited to be starting work on a slate with them, which I can't tell you much more about at this stage, but I'm incredibly proud to do that. So watch that space. But I am obviously still keeping my head very focused on season 2, because I think that it's a story that has so much more places to grow, and the ideas are all there, and the cast have only just started. I think to see season 1 is like, it's the teaser. It gives you a taste of who the players are. So when you get to season 2, you then get to see them at work.
Okay. I love that. All right. Lara Jean?
Well, I would love to continue with We Were Tomorrow. That would be fantastic to keep on going with George and May. Right now, I'm a breakfast announcer. So I'm a radio announcer.
Oh,
So from 6 a.m. till 10 a.m., Monday to Friday, I'm on a breakfast show. So we talk gossip, we talk about just very, very open. We do giveaways, we go in the community and be there for the community. So it's all about local radio in Ballarat, which is in Melbourne. So that's what I do Monday to Friday. I'm a radio host, and I have so much fun doing. I get to be my weird and wacky self, and yeah, it's really creative. Lets me be weird.
That's the best thing, isn't it? Just be weird. That's the greatest thing ever. And your voice is perfect for. I can imagine listening to you in the morning easily. I love that. Alicia, what's in the cards for you?
So obviously, We Were Tomorrow season 2.
Yes.
We're manifesting here.
Yes, we're manifesting.
I'm manifesting a lot. I'm also manifesting Lord of the Rings, obviously.
Yeah.
And I'm basically just kind of getting back into the acting world after having my daughter. So I'm really I'm mumming at the moment, and yeah, I'm also I'm writing some things of my own, but we'll see now that I'm kind of getting back into the world of acting where we go from here. But yeah, it's been a really fun time playing mum, and I think being able to bring this new version of myself to some different characters is going to be fun in the future. So,
that's lovely. Is that last question? I swear, but I'm now very interested. Is there a dream role that, a specific role that you always wanted to, or a type of role that you always wanted to do and you didn't get to just yet? Or do you feel like I think there's a dream role for everyone. I don't know. But it's always exciting to hear. Is that one? Alicia, maybe?
Yes, no. Okay. So for me, honestly, it is, it's that kind of Lord of the Rings character. I love, like swords and not sci-fi, but the fantasy of it all. I love that kind of, but that also brings in. So essentially, yes, any kind of, in particular, it's always been Lord of the Rings. But then when We Were Tomorrow was created, I was like, oh, we can do all of this, because there's so many different lifetimes as well, and it's really fun. And I think there was the possibility to have different things like swords or guns, or there's strong female kind of character that is in a fantasy world is really a dream role for me. So I'm aiming for both We Were Tomorrow and Lord of the Rings.
Yes, perfect.
Both are going to happen. Both.
Both. Yeah, exactly. We're manifesting both. Madeleine?
Okay, so mine's a little bit of a geeky answer as well, which I love. I absolutely smash playing Hogwarts Legacy on Xbox. It came out and I went through it real fast. I guess my thing would be, if that was somehow translated to the screen or a series, getting to play in that kind of that 1800s-esque time period of Hogwarts and that history. Yes. I loved it so much in the game, and I think if that could then be translated to the screen, being that character in that narrative would be so much fun, because oh my goodness, you get to fly and you get to do magic, and there's all these different creatures. I can't. I love it.
Yeah, understandable fully. Laura Jean, is that one for you?
I'm a big Office US fan, so I would have to say I know that they've got an Office Australia happening
Yes.
right now,
Mhm.
and I would love to do some kind of be in the office, be a part of it all, and just I'm a big Office US fan, so something like that, something wacky, weird, and also I love the badass roles too, the really the Mariska Hargitay in Law and Order SVU. I mean, something like that where it's a strong female, solving crime, helping people. I love that.
Oh yeah. That. All of them sound awesome. Heavily manifesting for all of you. And I would just come and die in everything. That's my thing. I think I'm really hoping that it means that I'm going to be immortal at the end. That would be awesome. Although I don't know what would I do if I would live to like 500. Like, what do elves do? They are at 500. Like, I've already seen everything.
They do art and
they do art. That's true.
All that sort of stuff. They
That's
enjoy
true.
all the beautiful things in life.
That's true. Yeah, I think at that point my drawings would be so realistic that they would just speak. I don't know. Just imagine.
You have so much time to perfect it.
Right?
Yeah, you'd be dressed in beautiful outfits too and have your hair all braided every day. So that would be lovely to be in the makeup chair, getting made up, putting a costume on.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're so ethereal. Like you feel like an absolute goddess, like that beautiful wigs and the ears and the gowns.
The best, honestly. All right. This was absolutely lovely. The best time ever. So thank you for coming on our little show.
Thank you.
Honestly, all the very best for you. And I cannot wait to watch River Tomorrow that is coming to Amazon Prime. It's already available at some parts, and international is in November. I remember correctly. Yes. So I can't wait for November. Now I have a new thing to put on my list to watch. I am very, like, you hype me up. I can't wait to watch this, honestly. And you are all lovely, and wishing you all the very best, and can't wait to see you in more things, because that's always exciting as well. And then Katie's going to close this off because she's better at it than I am.
Am I? Good, big question. No, thank you all so much for coming. If it's been a while since we've done this in a recorded format, so if you liked us in this sort of thing, please remember to like and subscribe and do all those fun things and comment on any of the stuff that maybe we've talked about. Obviously we always want to hear what people's favorite movies and all those bits and pieces are. I think that's it for us. Thank you for coming. Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Bye.